She does it better with Brianna Dutton and Kevin Tibbs. Let's get into it. She do it better. She do it better. She do it better. She do it better.
Welcome to the She Does It Better podcast.
Welcome
Episode
back. We made it to
3.
3.
We made it to 3 episode. I'm the assistant coach here, Kevin Tibbs, and the other lady on the screen,
We're co-assistants,
the
bro.
lady on the screen, the head coach, Brianna Dutton.
Sir.
Yep, we're back for the episode number 3.
Who would have
Who thought we would make it this far?
I know, we're going to say that every episode because we didn't
I
think
know.
we'd get past even 1.
Hey, if we make it after 5, we won't say that no more.
Okay, after
But-
5.
Yep. Let's give some thanks though to anybody that took the time to listen. I guess we're going to talk about a little bit about travel basketball today.
Personal
And-
experiences.
Yeah, personal experiences. At some point in our podcast career, before this is all over, like episode 4, but
Oh, has no
but
face.
but in some point in our podcast, we're gonna have to get some other people on this podcast because I like to get some other perspectives on everybody else's travels. Maybe not just AAU basketball, but travels, soccer,
Right. Yeah,
softball, or
everyone.
any of those sports. So if you would like to be a guest on the She Does It Better podcast with assistant coach Kevin Tibbs and head coach Bree Dutton, please email us at, what's the email address, Shawty?
She does it better. WBB@gmail.com.
Yeah, for us, we really didn't know what the whole travel scene was really about. I kind of knew a little bit from friends back in the day, but the travel from the 90s compared to what travel is here in the 2010s and up is two different monsters. Back then, you might have had one travel team in your whole area. And you can throw a rock and hit 10 of them.
Exactly. It's like an infested like area right now. It's all people want to do.
Yeah. And one of the things is like, soon as one of the parents get upset, they just start their own team. And so it gets so watered down. Hey, yeah. Matter of fact, but let's start with that. You had a great year of AAU. I would say a great year, as in friends on your team. That one kind of started because of parents being upset about how things were being ran. Maybe not by the organization, but maybe by a coach.
Yeah, but I think you can't really talk about that team without talking about the ones before.
Oh, yeah. You're right about
because
that.
of how
So,
low-key traumatic.
when's your first? Yeah. Oh, it was definitely traumatic. So rewind. We're gonna start back.
We're not throwing hate to anyone. Nobody listens to us, so it's fine.
So, Bree, was your first year 7th grade?
Yeah.
Was that the first year?
Yep. We've seen every side to teams in AAU. The teams that never started, the teams that never should have started. And
We'll
the
get back to that one later.
well-established teams that were still a dumpster fire. And then
Yeah.
put together teams that just didn't really gel.
Yeah. So after we had to travel with the Jaguars a year before. A year later we went to the Stars, the Fairfax Stars.
Yep. Which
And
is
how was that
well-known
experience?
team in our area.
Yeah. So
there's the side of the Fairfax Stars that's like AZ FUD. This is not what we're talking about.
yeah.
This
Plus,
is not what
you're
we're
in
talking about. This is like the dumpster fire side of the Fairfax Stars.
But you got to
The
think.
B squad.
Yeah, exactly. You wasn't on the A squad. You was
No.
on the B
The
squad.
B squad.
But as we didn't know at the time, we made the team. We're gonna go with this team and let's go with it. But who knew we would be out of town every week? It seemed like.
I think starting on a team that big, like an organization that big, was like not a good place to start because we had no idea what we were getting into.
No idea of how much the cost was. The
The
travel cost was
right, like
crazy.
I had no idea what AAU even really was. So to walk
Oh, you
into
didn't?
like no,
I
I
thought you
did
knew.
not know that like what we were doing was what we were doing. Like
Well, then that's our fault as the parents. I guess we didn't
no, it's
explain
not
it. I
like
thought,
I understood the games like every weekend because I was already doing
yeah,
that to a way lesser extent, like in a rec league format.
yeah,
But like to be on a Nike team going to like USJN and like all these other
yeah,
ones, I was not expecting that as a 12-year-old. No.
yeah. No, but I would tell parents now at that level, unless your kid is AZ FUD,
Yeah, you
don't
don't
do
need
all
to
that
do that.
travel.
You don't need to do that. We didn't need
It-
to do that cuz it didn't even like
no,
I wouldn't say it worked out in our favor. Not that I used
no,
it to
no,
its fullest extent, but we ended up like quitting that team out of hatred and joining like a newly established organization that also didn't work out.
yeah. But like, what I remember about the Stars, we would look at the schedule and we would be in Pennsylvania one week, and next thing you know, you're in Jersey the next week, and then you'll be maybe the Think Pink tournament. I love that Think Pink tournament.
I like that when it
So
was local.
yeah, I love that they had the Think Pink tournament because it was free to parents. So,
Mm,
but even though we had to work the
yeah.
books, I enjoyed that tournament.
Like the fact that that specific team was the first one we ever experienced is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, but I would one of the things I didn't like about that team, what I remember, is what we call now is the daddy ball coach. Like
Parent
we had
coaches.
like being a new parent to the team, you're just happy for your kid to make the team, and then you get there and your kid's not even playing the position they probably should be playing.
Right.
You got to play second fiddle to whoever the parents are coaching. You know, if the parents coaching their daughters, like my daughter's gonna be this or that, and your daughter ends up playing the three,
You're just
being
you're
four
playing
foot seven.
confused the entire time because you don't understand why that person's playing that position and you're not understanding why the favoritism is going on and why you're not really playing as much when at least in my eyes I should have been, I guess.
Yeah, I would say you should have been. I mean, you should have been learning that position. You know, we put you there not to win games, for you to get better. So when we were made that decision to go with that team, it was like, okay, she'll get better going with this team. This is a well known organization. So you're hoping your kid goes out there and they get better.
I think that team like just made me scared. Like
Why
that
why
team
you say
just
that?
taught me fear.
Fear in what
Fear in
way?
a
Of
sport.
so you were scared of the whole sport itself?
Like with every practice, every game we played, I was literally just scared. Like
Oh, so
because like you're dealing
were
with
you
a
scared to?
coach whose daughter is like obviously he's showing favoritism towards her. That happens a lot, but so
Yeah,
he had her playing my position. So
yeah. And we played for
anything
this.
that I would do, no matter what, was going to be second to her. No matter what I
Yeah,
did, I could have done the best thing on the planet. It was still not going to be good enough to play over her because she was his kid.
yeah. And we played for this organization 2 years.
Right.
Two
And
years.
then and
Yeah,
then you throw in the fact that I didn't really understand what AAU was to that level. You
yeah.
throw all those things in at one time. It's not tough.
Mhm.
It was not. I think had
Do
it
you?
been something I eased into, it would
Yeah.
be a different story. But
Do
to
you?
make
Do
a
you
good
remember your?
team like that to begin with could also be a good thing for some kids. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Do you remember your first tournament?
No, vaguely. And I know
It was a.
I have photos of it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. You don't remember your feelings. What is your first
Scared.
earliest memory? Yeah, earliest memory of AAU. Because
uh,
that photo you talking about in your first tournament, probably of us taking a picture of you and you kind of standing sideways looking down at us or something like that.
yes, exactly. Yeah,
You
I
look
know that
scared.
photo, but I don't know where we are.
Yeah, it was. I think it was in King George. Matter of fact,
I don't
it
know.
was.
My
It
first
was in one.
memory of it was the VCU tournament.
Oh, that was like the second tournament. Then, so
Yeah.
you still have an early memory. Yeah.
Early, yeah, but
It-
like that's the first like visual memory that I have is that VCU tournament for sure.
were you more nervous? I mean, were you nervous because you were playing at a college, or
Playing
you
at a
just thinking?
college, that's the first time I've ever walked in and seen like 8 courts in one place. And little did I
Yeah, because
know 8 is nothing. Like 8 is literally nothing. But to me
at
that
that
was a
point we
lot.
thought. At that point we thought it was a lot because I've always heard of Boo Williams, but Boo only has like 10 courts. I think it's only 10.
Right? It's like
So
to me it was like, "Oh my god, we all play here and we all play at the same time."
yeah, and that was probably the first experience of dealing with multiple whistles being blown at the same time, and all you girls would just stop
Right. But
and
you
the
don't
parents
want
are
to
like,
act
"Play,
like
go, go."
you're new to this and don't know what you're doing cuz
Yeah,
then you'll be made fun of.
yeah.
So it's like a constant state of trying to act like I know what I'm doing, but in reality I have no clue what I'm doing and I'm terrified. But I mean that team just
But
was what it was. I think
teams that
we as a team, most of us, not all of us, were realizing like we don't have to be in the situation that we're in right now. We don't have to be
yeah
playing in these brackets. This is a choice that they made. We don't the starting lineups didn't have to be what they were. Like they made no sense. Like who was
yeah.
playing and who wasn't. There was no rhyme or reason to it. The attitude of the coaching staff, can we I believe a clipboard was thrown or some, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a toxic environment to be in because everybody was over it. The kids could feel that the parents were over it. So we just
Can y'all
all were
feel that?
just screw this. Y'all all
Yeah.
had a whole beef session at one of our tournaments. What do you mean did
Well,
we
that was after
know?
that was the second year after Tennessee.
Yeah, we were just sitting
After
at a table hearing y'all scream at each other, or not. You weren't
mm,
screaming at each other, but y'all were all arguing on the other side of the wall. We knew that.
the second year when we decided to come back, I remember him giving out our schedule for the year, and at one point they had us going from Orlando, Florida, straight to New Orleans, straight to Tennessee. I'm like, what in the world?
Right.
I
And
mean, like, how
what
can we
some of
afford
us
this?
like, I think some of the people on the team, at least me, we knew that we were only doing this like this is so that his kid could be seen by all these major people. Like, his idea was as long as they see her, right? Whether
Yeah,
she's down by 70 or not, he just thought the importance was that she was seen. So we're going to all these different places so that he can expose his kid to the best levels of basketball. But as players on that team, we felt like none of our feelings or well being mattered for the sake of her.
yeah. Did y'all ever have those discussions as the players, other players on the
I
team?
don't think
Because,
not really. I mean, not a large group of us know. Because
but
what happens if you start talking and she hears you? Well, there
yeah,
goes your
well,
playing time because her dad's the coach.
yeah. Well, that's one thing I remember. Like, she wasn't as a part of the clique of girls. Sometimes she would be off with her mom and dad and
Because
wouldn't
we were
talk to the rest of the
angry.
girls.
We were
Yeah,
so fed up. I can't speak for
I tell.
everyone, but some of us, I know. It's just the decisions without considering anybody else but your family. That's not what a coach does. Coach cares
And
about
I
the whole
think,
team.
yeah, and that's what's wrong with having like a parent of a kid on the team coaching the team. I'm not gonna say it all the time, but a lot of times they're more concerned about their kid than the growth or development of any other kid on the team. It's all about their kid. So at that point, like the team concept kind of gets lost. You really is you're an individual.
Completely. Like, I just think that,
Yeah.
and not to stay on the same two teams this whole time, because this podcast will be a billion years, but those 2 years set the tone for my entire basketball experience.
It didn't even start out right.
No, and
Yeah.
it never
Yeah.
really got off the ground after that.
Yeah. But what those two teams did, it led to another team. Team assist. You have to remember team assist. That and team assist for our listeners is a team that kind of started out of a parent's frustration. Even though it wasn't ran by that parent, they got with
The
another
team like went
organization
on
that was
like
trying to.
strike and split into another team, like,
Yeah,
and took
we sure
everyone
did.
with us. It
Because
was like the parents and kids were like, "We're so done. We're like," and
I'm
we
trying to
just
think.
shifted over into a new team.
You're right about that. I forgot about that. Yeah,
So
but as like as a parent, that was the best year. The team assist. We
I can't believe you think that as a
no
athlete and competitive human being.
no competitive. No,
No,
I
but
said as a parent.
everyone didn't hate
Uh,
each other on that team.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fun.
It wasn't
Your
toxic.
mom.
It was what we all needed after the toxic past 2 years we spent.
And remember, I don't know if you remember before you went to that team, us having an argument in the house
Oh
because you
Lord.
wouldn't go
Yes,
try
of
it out for
course.
another team.
This is like the biggest argument we've ever had.
Yeah, we so bad we had to take the doors off your
Took
room.
everything from me. Every door off the hinges, y'all. God. Because I didn't
Doors.
want to go to a
Did we
tryout
take
for
your
a different
shoes?
team. You took every ounce of my belongings were gone.
But in all, looking back, it was what you needed at the time. Not to be on another high level travel team. It was like to you needed a spring summer to relax and just have fun.
But you say that now.
Now, yeah,
That's
but we
not
didn't
how
think that
you
way then.
viewed that.
No, because we were looking for you or somebody talked about playing in college, and if you're gonna play in college, you need
Then
to
right,
be
that
on
team
somebody
wasn't
that's
it.
gonna
So I
develop.
understand your standpoint, but it's
Yeah,
crazy to hear that you are also understanding mine.
yeah, exactly. But like that team, as like the parents, all your girls, y'all got along pretty much good. I think you guys were happy all the time. Y'all were joking around. I
Yeah.
think y'all even got in the swimming pool at a tournament, or
Yeah,
did
the
y'all get in
moms did.
Yeah, the moms got in the
The
swimming pool
moms did.
because on the stars, y'all wasn't even allowed near the swimming pool.
Telling 7th and 8th graders that this is a business trip and you can't get in the hotel pool.
And then when you
Toxic.
come back to,
Anyways.
if Earl or Naomi, you can hear this. Yeah, I remember coming back from dinner one
When they
night
were
and
in
seeing
the
Naomi in the
pool.
swimming pool, and all the other kids are jealous.
Oh, so jealous. But yeah, like if you're doing that to 12 and 13-year-olds, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
It's
I
never
mean
that
it's a
serious.
no, not at all.
Not
But
at that
like
age.
the team assists though, we still traveled a lot. We still had a decent
Yeah,
travel
but it,
schedule.
it it wasn't like that team wasn't scary to me. Like it wasn't like
It wasn't. It
my
was it
anxiety wasn't so bad on that team.
was it low expectations
Kinda.
because we
Like it wasn't like
only
no
win it.
matter what I did, I was getting no recognition for it for the past two
Yeah,
years. So now I was finally getting something. Like there was still a daughter on the team, but she wasn't playing my position.
yeah.
So I could finally do something that was like worth something on the team. That's probably not the best way to put that, but like I felt like no matter
Yeah,
what
but
I did on the stars literally didn't matter.
when you was on the Stars, did you feel like if you made one mistake when
I'd
you
be
did
out.
play point guard, you was
He'd be
coming
like,
out?
"Oh, well, per water breaks over anyway," so we'd send his kid back in.
Yeah, because I would say thinking about those times, I remember the faces on you, a lot of the girls' faces when they would make a mistake, and
Yeah.
they would look right over to the coaches there because they knew they were coming out.
Like if you want your girls, specifically teenagers, middle schoolers, to fear you, that's odd. Like why do you need them to fear you?
Yeah, not
It's
at that
not a
level. You want
healthy
them.
dynamic to have. There's a
You want.
healthy fear in coaching. Like that's a respect thing. That's not a fear thing. Like
Yeah,
you want them to respect you. They shouldn't be scared of you.
and
I was
y'all were
scared of
definitely
him.
scared.
I was
Oh,
scared of that guy.
oh gosh, yeah. Well, I understand the way he yelled and stuff.
Like he
He,
would throw things. It's just
I would,
weird.
yeah, seeing him throw things. He turned it back on y'all one time. Remember that?
Turned
And
his
started
back
packing
on
his
us,
stuff out.
refused to watch us. In practice, he chucked a ball at a wall and then it came back and hit me. It's
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? Like, that's the side of AAU that, like, either no one's experienced or no one's talking about.
Yeah. But I think a lot of kids they only speak of the good stuff. Nobody sees that side up. Nobody
No, they
talks about
see
that side because they don't.
the AZ Flood on Fairfax Stars. They see the like top 100 players playing in the gym, and that's cool to see. But what's
Yeah,
happening to these kids who aren't on these teams or who aren't the starters on these teams? Like, what's going on in their heads? No one's talking about that. That's such a
yeah.
stressful environment to be in, such a high pressure situation to be in when you're trying to
7.
figure out who you even are as a person.
Hearing you talk about that now, we did not understand that as parents. No, not even
No, but
close.
how could you? Like,
Yeah,
nobody was, like, you guys were not at 13, 14, 15, spending your summers with in a room with 80 courts and like
yeah.
nobody can you can't there's no relation to it because
Because
AAU's
I
it was just I wouldn't say it was just starting but it like to the magnitude that it was at there was no
that is
relating
getting
to it on a
yeah.
parent kid level. I won't say it's bad because it's not. I understand the purpose, but for some it can be like overstimulating, I guess, or
Yeah.
too high pressure.
Oh, definitely the pressure. The pressure is ridiculous. And not unless you go into it saying, "Hey, I'm just here to have fun." If a scholarship comes out of it, it happens. But I just love playing basketball or softball,
Right. Like
baseball,
you
something like
gotta
that.
you that picks apart who has the love for the sport and who doesn't. Like
Oh, especially after
I
about
love like I can say now that I love basketball, but in high school if you would have asked me that question, I would have told you absolutely not.
Is it?
Absolutely not.
Did you think it was a more the AAU experience or the
Yeah,
travel
all of it.
experience more than the high school
Had I
experience?
if I would have just like cuz like people just don't do AAU. Am I recommending that? No. But like some people don't.
Yeah,
I think had that been my experience, I'd be a different person. Like if it was just I wouldn't be as good. Like
you
I
wouldn't have
wouldn't have been
progressed.
as good as a player as I was had I not done
But,
that, but I also probably wouldn't have been so burnt out.
but that's why I call it the necessary evil.
It
Because I
is.
remember even from your first year to your second year AAU, how much you got better, but it just you kept progressing. And my thought was, well, she's playing more basketball that way. That's why she's getting better. But
And
I
that's
like,
true. Like when you're just looking at it from a basketball standpoint, I was getting better because what option do you have when you're doing it to that extent?
yeah.
But
But
at
do
the
you think
same
his?
time, what it was that doing mentally for me?
Yeah, it was draining you
Yeah,
mentally.
like
But do you think there's another way of kids to get better besides AAU/travel? I mean, maybe go to like Darius or somebody like trainers.
it is.
Now,
I could say
I
that,
would,
but then how do kids get noticed, right?
yeah.
How many kids
So
without AAU would have been without a college experience at all? You
yeah,
know, like all it takes is a Brenda Freeze taking a lunch break and seeing somebody
yeah.
that hadn't been on her radar before. So that's something that AAU creates that nothing else does.
Yeah, I always tell people either have a coach with college contacts or a trainer with college
You
contacts.
need
And if
something,
you don't have one of those, you're in trouble unless you're the top 2 or 3% in that
right?
sport.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
a lot of scholarships come from people's contacts with another coach.
nothing will
They
ever
might,
amount to the exposure of AAU. It won't.
yeah. And I think somewhat the NCAA is giving some things back to the high school, like giving them like tournaments, some open recruiting season during the summertime for them to do like high school tournaments, things like that, which is good. I mean, because AAU owns basketball right now, in my opinion, the travel leagues, unless
Oh,
you're on the like the
definitely.
part.
But you can see it when you walk in the door, like how
The
much
money's crazy.
money
I
like you
always
can
tell,
see it the moment you walk in.
yeah, I always tell people we used to go to the one in North Carolina, the deep South, and it would cost me and your mom $20 a piece each day to get in there to watch you play one game, four
Just to
days.
watch. Yeah, just to
Yeah,
watch.
and there's 60, 80 courts in there, and you think about every team that's paid $1,200 or whatever to
Yep.
be there, and those courts are full from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9, 10 o'clock at night.
And you have all the vendors that are selling stuff for like
Yeah.
$50
Oh,
each. It's, oh my god, the
it's
obsession
nothing
with
but a.
socks and t-shirts and
Oh, they caught y'all with them
caught.
socks.
What
Yeah,
girl wasn't
I,
getting those socks?
yeah. I think we were. That's the way we were brabbing you at one point with socks.
Socks every bit because they were like $30 a pair.
I just, if we can go back and look at how much money we blew up through those AAU seasons, we didn't even have the money, but we made it work. And if we were doing it, look how many other parents out there doing it now and back then.
But do you carry that as regret because I didn't use it
No,
at all?
no, not at all.
Is that
No,
because we're 6 years out?
no. I would do it again if it's going to keep my kids out of trouble. If they wanted to do something to have fun or to even if you wanted to thought at the time you wanted to use it to get a scholarship or to play college basketball, yeah, I would still do it. Like you wouldn't even have to be the best player on the team. I would still do it. And I'm pretty sure your mom would be the same way. I don't think either one of us would take it back. But I think there was a lot of growth in there because you did learn that the world the world's going to be tough.
I did.
Like yeah,
If I learned nothing else, I learned that.
you didn't get handouts in travel. It was like work for every minute you got.
I didn't get handouts in basketball, period.
No, not at all. but like I remember well, what I won't say is like going from team assist was a team with all your friends. Like you had it was a whole spring and summer of just having fun.
Yeah.
Even if y'all lost. After that, we got with Coach Ryan at the Vogues, and the Vogues have been around forever. Forever. I don't even know when they were started. That's how long they've been around. And like that to me was a good experience after like the third or fourth tournament, the second or third tournament. I can't remember which one it was.
That was the first like truly healthy relationship that I had with a coach. Like
with Ryan,
other than like school sports, like it was
yeah.
like first AAU like where it was a positive coaching experience that I took away.
Do you think that was because Ryan didn't have a kid on the team? I always said that was one of the reasons.
He just
that we
maybe
enjoyed
it was that like I just felt like it wasn't just about their kid or getting somewhere. Like he actually cared about each kid. That sounds so crazy to say because what coach doesn't, but until that point, I had not felt that.
He definitely showed care for each kid, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like Ryan really tried. I what he did for you as my daughter, I really appreciate what he did. I think we talked about it the other night when we was in Spooky Nook. And you was having that game and he pulled you out and you was you went to the end of the bench and pulled down your knee pads.
Yeah, but he sat down and he talked with me about it. Like it wasn't he didn't yell at me.
Yeah.
He didn't berate me.
Yeah, he would actually tell you what you were doing wrong and have a conversation with you instead of just go sit down on the bench.
In that moment, that's not what he was doing. In that moment, he was genuinely asking me what was wrong. No coach had ever asked me that, period.
Yeah, you were crazy. That's what it was.
Okay.
So until that point, that was going to be a bad team. We were actually at that point when he set you down, when you went and sat at that end of the bench. Me and your mom had looked at each other and we'd like, yeah, this is it. This is the last tournament. We're not doing this no more. And then all of a sudden, like everything turned around, and the whole season even turned around.
And I'm telling you, it's because it was the first time I was like, wow, he asked what was wrong. What the freak? There's people out here like this. there's people out here like this.
He was a good guy, man. He was just a good guy to have around.
I'm not saying that maybe that's not all correlated, but at least some of it is.
I really enjoy Ryan and Fisher, to be honest with you. I can really talk to them two guys all the time. They would like the Vogues organization to me was a class act. I think a lot of people should.
Definitely those 2 years were both positive experiences. It was just like outside influences that kind of affected like performance. Like we never had a full roster at a tournament.
Oh gosh, no. You
When you
know,
have
we got
5
to
kids
remember
show up and you're playing
it,
like what?
we
How
traveled all
many
the way to
games a
Kentucky, and
tournament?
we traveled all the way to Kentucky, and we have 6 girls,
Yeah,
and one
and
girl at the
one
time
girl
hadn't
got
been there
hurt.
in a
One
month.
girl got hurt first
Yeah,
game. So it's like,
yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I remember Fisher saying, "Well, ain't gonna be no breaks after this." Do you
No.
remember? I think 3 girls didn't come to that tournament because they went straight to Chicago and they was
Yeah. They
hanging out
like
and stuff
vacationed in Chicago while we were in the trenches
yeah,
in Kentucky.
getting your butts whipped. I don't think y'all got whipped every game though.
Man, no. It just felt like it because we were so
Yeah,
tired.
y'all were drained.
I was
But
done.
so that brings me up to like bring up food and nutrition. You girls never took care of your bodies
Whoa.
ever.
I was eating Taco Bell.
Exactly. Or taquitos, one or the other.
Oh my god.
Do you think all young girls or even young boys have that problem? Or
Anxiety.
that's what I try to say. I say it's probably the anxiety leading up to all of it.
Yeah, I had enough to worry about on the way to a game. Like, eating was not one of them.
Yeah, like for us, like we can get you to eat the taquitos though. We knew you would eat
A
those. That
comfort
was your
food.
mom's compromise.
A
Yeah,
comfort
just
food, yeah.
the travel world is a dog eat dog world for the you players,
It
for us
sorts them
parents.
out for you though.
Yeah, it sorts out who the big dogs from the little dogs.
Yep.
Do you what's your best memory of travel? Do you have a memory that sticks out?
I really just spent all of it in like fight or flight. That I like don't even like I could tell you like stats and how games went. That's I can pull that
Did
from
you
my
have
brain, but ask me what happened after the game was over.
yeah? Do you have one game that sticks out in your mind?
Like a good one?
Yeah,
Like I
pick a
remember
good one
like
for
winning USJ and felt good.
yeah.
I
Just being happy.
remember like I remember like moments like team assist when the parents were jumping in the pool or like we were riding around in a van with far too many people to be in that van. Like I remember like me and Diana were like in the trunk. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was fun, but I only remember like that 30 seconds of time,
Oh wow.
which
You don't even
is
have no good memories.
that sounds terrible.
It does.
And I
Good
don't
gracious. Whoa.
mean it like that. It was just like it's
What was your mom doing? Good gracious. She ought to be ashamed
okay.
of
Oh,
herself.
you dumping the orange juice on my lap?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good
Pennsylvania
one. That was a
to
good one.
Pittsburgh.
The white uniform that you dumped McDonald's orange juice on
Hey, she didn't put the
accident.
top on right, and your mom
And I
wasn't
had to
even there on that
play in
tournament.
it.
Yeah, your mom
Smell
chose to
like
go to a
nasty
wine fest.
oranges.
Do you
Man,
remember I
do
think that was
remember
one of your
playing well
best
in that
ones.
tournament.
But after you play in one of those tournaments, you think, okay, the next tournament I'm going to be the starter. I'm
Nope.
going to head the ball in.
He didn't
Nope, you
even
back.
play probably. Like he probably sat me the whole game.
Like being on the other team, you might have felt if I do too much, he's going to take me out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course, yes, because his kid needed to look better than I could.
Yeah, I think a lot of y'all kids felt that way. Like if I do too good, he's gonna bench me in favor of
Yeah, and
another kid.
if I don't play well enough, he'll yell at me.
So one of the things I remember about that team also, like the tryouts, there were a lot of kids that he chose to cut that could have helped our team. I'm like, why is he cutting these people?
Yeah,
But
one of them was
now,
me.
yeah, first,
When I tell
but
you I've had every experience in basketball that you can have, like I've been the kid that didn't make it. I've been the kid that didn't get a break, like that was playing the whole game. Been the leading
yeah,
scorer. Been the kid that rode the bench. I've also been the kid that was cut from the team on accident.
Yeah, like,
Who
and then they're
does that
calling you,
happen to?
they're calling you back. They're trying to come. Hey, are you coming back? And then it happens you even showed up at that point.
Yeah.
But even like those tryouts and other tryouts with him, that stars team, like we would have girls in there that were pretty good, and then he wouldn't even take them. But I think that was so his kid can
kid would look
get
good.
more shine. Yeah, like then you'll see some of those girls on playing like on the teams like the Matrix or something.
Against
I don't know if they're
us.
still around.
Yep.
Yeah, but and you're like, well, good gracious, why we cut these kids?
I think as an adult, basketball just taught me more about how to handle hardships in life than it taught me to keep playing basketball.
I think it burnt you out. And I actually used to try to tell like John, whose daughters played softball, and other parents, listen, if your kid wants to take a day off and not go to practice that day, if they're young, give them the day off. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Don't burn them out. Like I would see the like how the relaxed feeling you would have when we were in swim, and you would be so relaxed because you had no pressure. But you was competing, yeah. But then
but the only
really
one affected if I didn't was me.
Yeah.
And those teenage coaches weren't yelling at us. They didn't care. They didn't even know what my times were.
No, Hey, I think you won a good award at swim for being like
that
most
sport
improved or
was
something like
never
that.
about competing.
Yeah.
It was about existing somewhere other than basketball.
Well, you did all right with swim. We used to love watching you swim. And it was a couple times we had a swim meet and didn't have to go to the USJN for a tournament game.
Brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
You
show up there,
still smelling like chlorine.
Your skin was probably no good.
My skin was trashed.
Yes. Hey, can y'all see that?
Oh yeah.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Bree got me that for Father's Day.
Yes,
so
sir.
We're moving up in the world. You can't see all the junk back here. And that's episode 3 of the She Does It Better podcast. Thank you all for joining.
Where you gonna go?
Oh, I guess I gotta go walk my dogs.
She do it better.